The first story that we are focusing on in the bulletin right now is coming in from Bengaluru, and it is not an isolated incident that could not impact others like you and me. A Rapido bike taxi ride turned into a nightmare for a woman in Bengaluru. The rider allegedly sexually harassed her, repeatedly called her and sent her inappropriate messages. The woman had booked a bike taxi while returning from a protest at the town hall. The rider arrived on a different bike than the one registered on the app. He then claimed that his bike was given for servicing, which is why he had to bring another vehicle. But after the woman agreed to take the ride, the situation took a turn for the worse. The rider allegedly started masturbating when they reached a desolate spot on the way to her home. Fearing for her safety, she remained silent, but even after reaching home, her ordeal continued. The rider started calling her repeatedly and sending messages proclaiming his love for her. Finally, she had to block him. The victim took to Twitter to narrate the incident and posted screenshots of the inappropriate messages as well.
Throughout the ride, it was fine because there was so much traffic and people around. But when we reached the Sandra Government School, that road, there was nobody, and it was around 7:15, 7:20 by then. So he started masturbating while riding. He was riding with one hand and he was using his left hand to masturbate. There was nobody on the road, and I was terrified. I didn't know what to do, but I kept quiet because I couldn't see even one human being around. There was no houses around. So I thought if I say something that may put me in danger, so I kept quiet. I registered a complaint with Rapido. So after I registered the complaint, Rapido told me that they deplatformed the guy, and he called me from a different number saying that it was his friend who was riding the bike. It's not actually the person who was showing on Rapido. He asked me, can you withdraw the complaint, please? It was not me, it was my friend who had asked you, please withdraw the complaint. The complaint is on me. So I said I will not withdraw the complaint, and then I tweeted about it. Somebody tagged Bangalore City Police, and they immediately reached out to me asking me for details. And even morning they followed up and asked me if I'm all right and what time I want to go and register the complaint.
Now, the victim has tagged Rapido's official Twitter account in her Twitter thread, asking the company to conduct a background check for all their drivers. The cops in Bengaluru took note of the tweet, and accused Kuruvetappa has now been arrested by the police. But the bike aggregator has only offered an apology to the victim.
Well, currently we're standing over here at Town Hall, where you can see that this is the location from where the victim took her Rapido bike taxi to go back home from the protest that happened on Friday, where there are several incidents that bring forth a traumatic. The city is at times for women. Was on her way home from a protest. She was trying to book a Rapido auto rickshaw, and she was also trying to book cabs, but due to unavailability of cabs and auto rickshaws, she had no other option. So the victim had to opt for a bike taxi. While she took the bike taxi from this location to Electronic City, to her home location, while she was going back to her home, in middle of the way, the driver diverted her to a different area, to a remote area where there are no vehicles in the surroundings, and tried to have inappropriate behavior on the bike. Even after victim requested the driver to drop her 200 meters away from her home location, even after that, he continuously tried to message her and harass her on messages and calls.
And what's more worrisome is that this is not the first time that such an incident has been reported. Have bike taxis now become unsafe for women? Do aggregators do their due diligence before they hire people who are supposed to carry and ferry commuters from one place to the other? These are questions that are being raised as well on the background checks that are conducted on the people who are hired to drive these vehicles. Remember, this is not the first time. Even in April this year, a woman had jumped off a moving bike, risking her life because the rider was drunk and allegedly tried to grope her. In another incident last year, a 23-year-old woman had been raped by a bike rider and his associate.
So it is definitely very disturbing, and every platform, whether they are taxis, whether they are online bike giving platforms, they should be having extra caution guard regarding these things, and all the perpetrators should definitely be punished. A thorough investigation should be done, and before that we shouldn't jump to conclusion, because there has been such instances of wrong complaints too earlier. So we don't know the merit of it, even though in the screenshot that she has given, it appears that her complaint is genuine, and such people who are having a perverted mind should not be allowed, and their license should be cancelled if it is proved true.
My question would be, why is it with such impunity these Rapido drivers, Ola cab drivers, Uber cab drivers go on to harass and sexually assault women who use their services? Why is it that they are never afraid of the law? Why is it that there is no punishment? Most of all, what are these companies doing? Why are they not held responsible and accountable for the people that extend this kind of service?
There are several questions that come to mind as somebody who often takes a hired cab, a taxi, even late in the night. Given the nature of my job, I personally feel that this could have been me in this position. Now, what happened that day? We are now joined by the victim herself, because she is a victim of harassment. We are refraining from showing her face, but it only makes this story more pertinent because face does not matter. This could have been anyone. Also joining us on the broadcast is Mr. Chandan Kumar, who is a member of a Working People's Coalition, to help us understand how exactly is the hiring process conducted, what are the checks and balances in place, are the rules and norms being followed or not. But first of all, ma'am, help us understand what happened with you. You've gone in great details, but there are several questions being raised as to, generally when we book via Uber, we share our location and details via an app. Does Rapido not make it easier for you to hide your identity and remain in contact with the driver?
Not really. When I booked the cab, it was heavy traffic time. This person messaged me his number on the Rapido app, asking me to call him on that number. But I called him on the Rapido number. He did not attend the call, and then I went back to the app and messaged him, why didn't you pick up the call? I called you, and he said, please call on this number. So then he must be riding, so texting is not the right way. So I called him on my on that number. That's how he got my number.
Okay. And
so then he asked me to call him to inform that he will be taking another 20 minutes to come because of heavy traffic. And he requested me not to cancel the ride. So I said, sure, I will not cancel and come. He took almost 20-25 minutes to reach the location, pickup location. And when he came, I noticed that the bike number is different. So I asked him why there is a different bike number on Rapido and you came in a different bike. So he explained that the bike which is registered with Rapido is under maintenance, under servicing. So he took his friend's bike and came. And then I asked him to show the Rapido app to confirm that if he got my booking. And he showed me, I could see my booking, my name and the pickup and drop details. So I confirmed, and then I got into the bike.
okay. But are you somebody who often takes cabs and bike rides from aggregators?
Not really, because I have a two-wheeler, but that is not available to me right now. That's the reason I took Rapido. But usually I take Rapido bikes, yes, but not very often.
Okay, so when this man started texting you, did you try and to tell him that, this is not appropriate, and then you're going to complain against him to somebody in the company?
So he dropped me at around 7:41 at the location I asked him to drop me, not at my house location. So immediately within 2 minutes, I think he called me and asked me, Mom, can you talk to me for some time? And I said, I thought maybe he's asking for extra money because sometimes cab drivers do that. So he said he did not ask for money. He asked me, can you talk to me for some time? And I told him, please don't call me. And I disconnected the call. The call was 31 seconds, I think. And then he kept calling me. So I blocked his number. And then when I came back home, I could see he started messaging me on WhatsApp. And I still thought it is for extra money. So I messaged him saying that it was an online payment. The payment was done through Rapido wallet. So I told him, I have already made the payment. Why are you calling me? So that's the conversation screenshot that I shared. And then he started messaging. I blocked him. And then I reported the incident to Rapido.
Okay. How did you notice that, when you were riding with him, that he had started indulging in inappropriate behavior?
So I know he's a very short person, height. So I could actually see him over his shoulder. But I saw him his left hand was moving and he was only riding with one hand. So it didn't even cross my mind that somebody would be sitting in a bike and masturbating. So I was like, why is he doing that? I looked over his shoulder and I could see that he was masturbating. Okay. And so it's a very...
Would it have been possible for you to red flag this while you were in the ride? Because Uber has a button where you can press and seek help and raise an alarm. Does Rapido allow you to do that?
I missed you for a second. Could you please repeat me?
Yes, I'm saying, was there any way, any facility on the app which you could have used in order to red flag that something like this was happening?
Yes, Rapido have an SOS button.
Yes. Did you try?
At the moment, I was in panic and my phone was in my bag and I didn't know what to do. I kept thinking about my safety because the incident happened at Vittasandra where there are no houses, there are no people. This was around 7:20 or 7:15, something around that time. And there is a construction site, but it was that time there was not even construction workers, no homes. So I was also scared and I didn't know what to do. And also the question is the safety in theory and safety in practical is different. If I press the SOS button, I'm not in a mental state to text somebody about what is happening. And also if they call back, I don't want to speak about.
Right, which is pretty understandable. Stay on with me, ma'am, because we also have our callers who are joining us because we are asking people if they have gone through something similar, and we've got several people calling from Bengaluru itself. We have Preeti from Bengaluru who's joining us. Ma'am, have you had any similar experience?
Sorry, I didn't have any experience as such.
Which is fortunate.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous because where is women's safety here? Because this is not the first incident. We saw that Nirbhaya case in Delhi and after that things have been just happening one after the other. And here we talked about gender equality, this, that and all sorts of things. Where is it? What is the safety for women? See, I'm an old lady. My age is of course gone, but at any age all this can happen, right?
Yes. No, it's not about age. It's about safety. It's not even about sexual harassment. There could have been worse things that could have happened. The lady just narrated that it was a desolate spot. This man stopped there, kept harassing her even after the ride was over. He already has her mobile number, and she was smart enough to realize what we've learned, that she stopped ahead of where she lives. Probably some other person would not have that opportunity. Maybe because you are in such a trauma, in such a situation like that, you might not be thinking that fast. That person would eventually have your number, would know where you are, and can stalk you as well. So, Mr. Chandan Kumar, tell me, how do companies like Uber, Ola, Rapido, and it doesn't matter what company it is, we now know that these issues have come to the fore on multiple occasions. How is this to be stopped?
First of all, what happened is highly condemnable, and I really regret, as a citizen, as a person, that such act should not have happened. So this is really, really sad what happened. That's the first thing. Second thing is that you have to also understand one thing, that who are these companies, how these companies function. There's a very, very important point to note for you, Priya. That I'm not sure if you know that the Rapido functions under the name of the company is called, if I tell you, is a Rupin Transport Private Limited. This is the parent company under which this app basically functions. Okay, and this has already been challenged in a couple of the states like Maharashtra, states like Delhi, where the whole regulation safety mechanism, which basically sort of regulated by the local transport department, and since they have not given any kind of green signal, and therefore these companies called Rapido have been banned in these states. Okay, that's a point number 2. The point number 3, you have to understand these companies are billion-dollar companies. These are like a big mammoth shark companies. India is celebrating G20, is one of the biggest world stage moment, and gig economy and platform economy is one of the key agenda to discuss there. So you understand the volume and the level
and one of the reasons why it was banned in the national capital, and Supreme Court then refused to revoke that, saying that you don't have regulations in place.
Correct. So I'm just saying that you understand the volume and the level of these companies have the money and power and etc. So I just would like to make 2 small points, and then I think you can take it forward from there. One thing is that these technology platforms, they said that we don't have any responsibilities, we don't have any accountabilities. We are a technology platform. Our role is to just connect the consumer, like a customer, and the person who are the service providers. So we are just a technology platform, and therefore we don't have any responsibilities. When you hire these folks, I can share what the Supreme Court affidavits by the Rapido, by the Uber, by the Swiggy and so on. They are saying that we don't owe any responsibilities. We have nothing to do with whenever such things happen, because we are the technology platform. Our job is just to connect the connector, consumer.
Okay, I'll ask the victim who's with us whether she also got that sense when she tried to get in touch with Rapido, who have now offered an apology. But sir, I'm putting you on hold there because we've got tons of callers calling us. Obviously, this resonates with very many people in the country. Saifa from Bengaluru. We'll take a couple of callers together and then I'll come back to you. So, Saifa, go on.
Sure.
No, this is actually very embarrassing. But actually, when the people take the vehicle, not only women, but there is no actually safety for anyone for that matter. Previously, around 1 month back, some guy has been hit by an auto because of some money issues or something like that. And when we call the autos also, they will come here and they will not take. They say, if you don't pay by cash, we will not take you, whatever it is. So actually these incidents are happening multiple times, and I have experienced many times, especially autos and Rapidos. Not only sexual harassment, and any kind of safety is not there. Why do we take the vehicles through that? Because for the safety purpose, because they can track us, our family people can track us, and it would be safer. So this is very difficult because previously the companies were providing the vehicles for the late shift.
And the onus clearly is on the companies, because there is a certain amount of trust that is reposed with them, because of which people go to them for their services. Mr. Swaminathan is with us from Bengaluru. Sir, go on.
Good evening. You see, these type of harassment are quite. Book a Ola or Uber, you have to go to Railway Station Airport. So in an emergency, they can press the switch, and the app people can straight away switch off the car or the motorbike. Okay,
that's a good suggestion. Probably we'll discuss that as well. Jagdishan from Salem is with us. Yes, sir. What is your view?
See, on so many occasions when I book Ola or Uber, what happens is that I get the registration number of the vehicle as well as the name of the driver. But when the vehicle actually comes to a place destination, pickup point, the vehicle number is different and the driver is also different. When I ask him how come this different vehicle is there, he says he's also owned by the same person. But since he is very busy, he has transferred this to me. I'm his brother or some such thing they will tell, and then we don't have any alternative, but we have to travel with them. Right. This should be stopped by Ola or Uber. Because this could be a safety compromisation. Safety aspect is totally lost here.
Yes. Okay. We've got more callers on the line, but I'd like to come to you, ma'am. Before I go to them, when you tried to contact Rapido after all this had happened, what kind of response did they come back to you with?
So when I contacted Rapido with this complaint, they immediately responded to me. They called me back saying that they deplatformed the rider and also blacklisted him so that he will not be employed at Rapido anymore. And that is what, and then they proceeded to explain the SOS option that is available for my future rides.
So who filed a complaint? Did they say that they are also going to pursue this matter with the police?
No, they did not mention anything. They offered me support. If I want to proceed legally, we are here to support you. That's what they said. And then they asked me, after I talked to Rapido, I got a call again from the driver asking me to withdraw the complaint. So I refused to do that. He did not threaten me. He was just requesting that, ma'am, I am not the person who ride the bike. It was my friend who ride the bike. Can you please withdraw the complaint? Okay. So that's when I got to know even the person was different. And also there is another thing that is mentioned in the Rapido app itself is that they have 24/7 support. And they mentioned very clearly, the first point says that if they were dropped off if a person is dropped off at a different location than the drop location, they will get a call back to check why it happened. I did not receive the call back. I made the driver drop me at a different location, but I did not receive a call back. Unless I came home and registered the complaint with Rapido, I did not get any call back.
Yes, definitely big loopholes there in the way the processes are being monitored. Abdul Aziz from Bengaluru and Anand from Pune, please go ahead with your grievances.
Yes, madam. Just I wanted to ask, just inform that to the abbreviator through you, that one here, the abbreviator should insist on, and they have to introduce that one here, to get a certificate from the local police where he is residing, as he is a safe driver and he is he is recommended the services of this person. So that one here, anything good, the police can come to know where he is, what is the person actually does it.
Okay.
Abbreviator should be short. Should get whoever they will recruit the driver to obtain a police certificate that he is a safe.
Yes, driver. I'm sure those laws are in place, Mr. Chandan Kumar, but not being followed.
No, exactly. This is what I'm trying to say, that these laws are not being followed because these companies do not function under the purview of any law. They claim that this is not our job. We are just technology platform.
But who's the supervisory body here? Then where does the buck stop?
So the buck stop is here. Basically, I would say that there are two ways. I mean, I'm not sort of diverting the debate, but you know that. Look at the NCRB data. Majority of the sexual harassment or sexual violence cases in which basically the victims and the perpetrators are known to each other. In this case particularly, the Rapido should be doing the gender sensitization training for all these riders. Look at who are these people. There's young people coming
to the gender sensitization, yes, it is preventive.
One second.
But after all this happens, the lady just said that they said we are going to deplatform him. Is that enough? They said we provide you legal support. Why should they not be taking action?
I agree. What I'm trying to say, also understand, let's not vilify this issue. Who are these people? These are the people coming from rural areas. Their cultural exposure is very, very limited.
That doesn't justify the crime, sir.
No.
Probably the aggregators have to be more diligent in doing their duty of background checks.
No, ma'am. This is, I agree. This is the basic precaution which each company should be taking it. But you also have to also understand the larger context, where you have to also understand who are these people, where they come from.
No, sir. When something like this happens, the larger context is very difficult to see. As the lady said, she couldn't even think straight enough to use the SOS button, which is the first option available to her. But the situation should not arise that somebody has to go to that level. But I'm unfortunately running out of time completely. Thank you, ma'am, so much for joining us, and sir as well. We have to take a very quick break.